Welcome back. You know, we're all looking for ways to save money these days, but today we're going to explain how spending money can actually save you some money in the long run. Dr. David Stewart from Little People's Dental is here with some interesting statistics. You say people often come to you and say, hey, what can I do to save money? How can I spend less or whatever? What's one of the things that you tell them when they come in?
You know, that's a good question, because parents will come and say, what's the best insurance? What do I do? How do I do? You know, and as we look at every insurance plan is different, what people are spending is different, but we find that really prevention is the best medicine. If you want to save money on your children's dental care overall, seeing the dentist regularly, early, and continually will actually decrease your overall healthcare costs.
Now that makes sense coming from you, but I mean, that's just a dentist talking. But here's an example. Walk me through this. What are we looking at here that shows this?
So, and this is, I like this example because this is a study that looked at children 0 to 5 years of age. And as we look at it, you can see, depending on where a child had their first preventive visit, the cumulative overall costs go up significantly for each year that they delay. And so the 5-year-old was almost twice as much overall healthcare cost as the 1-year-old that started early and followed through regularly.
Yeah, in fact, last time we were here, you were showing us what can happen with a 1-year-old or even smaller than that. You're telling people, even if your kid is 0 or 1, they should be coming to a dentist, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that's the recommendation, 1 year first tooth. And so people were really asking, does this work? Why do you recommend that? There was another study that looked at 15-year-olds and said, okay, let's look back 15 years and see who had a first visit. And in that study, it turned out children that were 15 years of age had a first visit at 1 year, had almost half the decay that those did that started later on in life. So really we're seeing from the research that prevention can decrease costs, it can decrease decay overall, and so it really pays to pay a little up front and pay it over time. You'll get better return on your money.
So what happens at one of those visits? Can't I, as a parent, just be vigilant? I'm scrubbing the teeth, and I'm helping, I'm teaching them how to brush their teeth and making sure that happens? Does that work?
It does. In fact, that's super important. That's an important component of the overall dental health of your child, because every 6 months can't prevent decay. No dentist can if you're not doing your part at home. And so the studies show us, too, as we look at preventive exams, decrease decay. Why is that? One, we're working with you as a parent to say we're missing here, there's this going on here, this part's starting to get decay, and then we can do things like sealants, fluoride, cleanings to get the plaque and calculus off so that your child can have better overall health. We catch things early, we get things taken care of before they're big, expensive, uncomfortable to your child.
This example, for example, is one of the visits. What would go on here, for example, at a visit when you're doing this? Counting teeth, and what else?
Great question. You know, as we look, every exam, first of all, should start with the review of the history. Where is your child at? What's their medical health like? What's their dental health like? What has changed? What are their new risk factors towards decay or decreased oral health? And then we'll start outside the mouth. We'll examine, we'll check outside the mouth for cancer, we'll check for growth and development things, and then we go inside the mouth and do the same thing. We look at tonsils, look at the back of the throat, the tissues, and see what's going on there. Then we look at how the teeth are coming together. How is the bite affecting your child? Are there things we can do now to prevent big orthodontic issues down the road? And then ultimately, then that's when we start looking at teeth and saying, okay, what are the risk factors here for cavities and decay, and start talking with the parent, this is what you need to do, this is what we need to do to prevent decay.
Okay, you talk about their young kids, and these are primary teeth that they're going to lose anyway, so part of me wonders, why do we have to worry about them? Why do we have to take care of them? They're going to fall out. If they're full of cavities, if they're decaying, just go in and someone can pull them out. Is there a problem with that?
You know, and I get that question a lot, particularly if I have a child that has decay in these primary teeth. And the primary teeth are important for several reasons. One is they are actually holding space. And in this picture, you can see there are permanent teeth developing. This picture here is a child that lost primary teeth early, and they've lost space. So now, as a young adult, significant orthodontics has to take place to regain space where primary teeth were. So primary teeth are developing. Our permanent teeth develop under primary teeth, and that starts at 1 year. It starts at birth, actually, that permanent teeth are there. If we lose those prematurely, then we are not maintaining space for permanent teeth to follow. And also, the overall health of those primary teeth sets up the environment that these permanent teeth come into, and will affect the dental health of those permanent teeth also.
When kids are coming in, and they might have some teeth issues, how early can you tell, like a warning sign, that they might need some serious orthodontia help? earlier than like 10 or 8 or 7? I mean, can you really tell early on that there might be some issues?
We can see a lot, even just how those teeth fit together as a toddler. You know, we can start getting ideas and start prepping parents. We oftentimes don't treat at that age, but then we start prepping teeth. But the other components, there are habits that they start as 1-year-olds that can lead to significant orthodontic problems down the road. Thumb sucking, pacifier usage, these type of things which we discuss at these early. So the goal of these early exams is to assess what are the risks of this child, not only for decay, but for growth and development. How do we help this child grow up so that when they're older they don't have these big issues? And so that's what the early infant exams do, these 1-year first tooth guideline, is prevention. We can look at the overall health of this child. The goal is to reduce their overall decay and promote health for the rest of their life.
Yeah, and it will end up saving you a lot of money in the long run as well, too. For more information about early preventative dental care, you can, of course, contact Dr. Stewart at www.littlepeoplesdental.com down in South Jordan, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's down there. Got a great little place down there. It's a pediatric dental specialty. We've got a link to their website from our website as well. If you forget what that is, you can, of course, go to studio.ksl.com.